All right, guys, you're welcome for that. Um, Listen, thanks for being here. We've got a big call for you guys. We try to add value and let you leverage us. So we're going to unpack the EXP model for you guys. For all of you that don't know me on this call, because there's always a good group, we are trying to unpack the EXP model. I've been here for 8 years. We're going to close out about $10 billion this year in sales. Our average agent is over 8 transactions per year. We are trying to improve the business. And I haven't done an EXP explain in a long time because I've had a very specific standard of what I need out of a co-host. So are you guys okay if I share what my standard looks like? It's very specific. All right. For one, you need to have at least been in the business for 25 years. Okay.
Hmm.
You need to have at least sold 1,500 transactions. You needed to have at least opened up an independent brokerage and grow it to 250 agents. You needed to be co-owner in two Keller Williams offices. You needed to have a black belt in Kung Fu. You needed to be at EXP as long as me, which is 8 years. You need to be a part-time pastor and a U.S. Navy veteran. And it just so happens that Jeff Sutherland hit my standard. And very handsome too, by the way. That was a non-negotiable. So we are going to unpack the model. You guys know the way that I do this is a EXP. We're going to do a quick intro. We're going to use all the EXP slides so you guys can all find these somewhere else and share this with people that need to look at it a little slower. And we explain it like the 3-lane highway that this is. Sale lane one is commissions, commission splits, tools, resources, all of the stuff to go fast. Lane two, which most brokerages don't have, is that we are 71% shareholders that own this company. We are all shareholders on day one, and we will earn stock 5 separate ways for doing real estate type things. And then the third one, which is the part that I have to cover, which looks very scary on a chart, is the exit lane, lane three, where you don't kill everybody on the road when you're trying to exit your career. And that's how to build an organization, because organizations are the superpowers of the world, and how we compensate you at the EXP model. So everybody, welcome Jeff Sutherland to the hosting this call. Jeff, welcome to the group.
Thank you, Rich. Man, what an honor. I see so many people here that I love and care about. So my heart is so full right now. And it's an honor to be in business with you, Rich. You are an amazing leader. So today I'm just like, I'm not taking this lightly. Thank you very much. I'm gonna move fast, guys. Is that okay? We're gonna move fast. We're gonna get through this stuff. And then if you have any questions, just throw them in the chat. I know Rich will be monitoring the chat. I'm gonna share my screen. And we have a lot to go over. Welcome to the call. And thank you for that nice intro, Rich. Let's get right after it. Okay, so since 2009, we have been on just a meteoric rise, right? And it's never been seen in our industry. This is a once in a lifetime thing that we've been a part of at EXP. Look at the trajectory. Now we're hovering around 85,000 agents, and we've weathered the storm. The last 2 years have been a little rough, especially in some markets. We've weathered the storm and we've actually increased our bench. We have great leadership coming in, more products and services delivered to our agents. That's the beauty of this, right? There was a great owner once. He owned Intel, and he wrote a book called "Only the Paranoid Survive." And I love that book because it talked about how he was always developing new things for Intel Corporation. That was my first career before I started real estate. And that's certainly something that we've not done. We've not sat back on our laurels over the last couple of years. We've just gotten that much better. Look what happened last year, guys. We led the world in transactions for the largest independent brokerage at 350,000 transactions. Are you kidding me? These are numbers y'all need to know. Like when people say, does EXP do a lot of production? Yeah, we're number one in the world, 350,000 transactions, and it's only getting better. I mean, we're grabbing people from every single state in the country, top leadership production people, and they're coming into our model. They're coming into our model because they see hope. So be ambassadors of hope when you talk to these people because we give them that with this model. 99% of the other brokerages out there don't do what we do. And so I speak it from the rooftops every day, man. It's so exciting. So let's keep on rolling. Last 3 years ranked number one with transactions, not just last year, but 22, 23, 24. You can look at any of these sites that are well known in our industry and you can research everything you want about EXP versus all the competition. And we're coming up on top and we keep coming up on top. And we're only going to get stronger as things go by. Just talk to the CEO, talk to Leo, talk to Glenn, talk to Holly. The vision of these people, it's off the hook. I mean, these people, you know what I love about this company is the leadership team is made up of practitioners, people that have actually done the business for like decades. And that says a lot. That says a lot. Who's running the company? They know what it's like to be an agent. They know what it's like to go list and do buyer consults on a daily, right? These people understand the business. And that's why I love where we're going. That's why I love the future of this company. Okay. Rich, talk about this, man. The top producers, top 25, 250 teams and what they're doing, and the top 250 individuals.
Yeah, so I mean, we basically have a leaderboard so you can see where you're at the company. And if you took our top 250 teams at EXP, you would have the sixth biggest brokerage in the country just off that. So this is a top producer company. 4 or 5% of the company icons, you'll learn what that is here on lane two, where Jeff covers the 5 ways you earn stock. And then as the top 250 individuals here at this company, all icon, they will also turn into instructors. So all of your instructors that are teaching the 70 hours a week of education that we have at the company are the ones that are in the peloton of performance for sales, not the person who just loves teaching, but they're actually doing the work. So anyway, so Jeff, yeah, this
Yep.
2024 producer, I think the top solo agents were over $100 million that qualified, if I recall correctly. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. And again, we have our top people teaching. They're giving back into the model, right? That just makes sense. You know, we're rewarding and we're incentivizing our top people to help grow the company. And then our simple ask is go teach a class in EXP University, right? So when you come into EXP University, you get 60 to 70 classes a week, not from like mediocre practitioners. I'm talking about top producers, icons from around the country. So the platform is just so easy to plug into. You pick what you want to focus on, and it's there in EXP University. Now, this slide has a lot of meat to it, guys. I'm going to go quick. I'm not going to touch on every single one of them, but I want you to get the breadth of what we have to offer. If you actually took time to go down and look at all these things, you'd be blown away. And I always tell somebody if you want to be a good attractor of people and be a great leader, first you lead yourself, number one, and number two, you understand the model. You understand all the things that we have to provide, right? A good mentor of mine, Curtis Johnson, my good friend of 20 years, told me that, and I think he hit that on the head, right? So look at the tech column, EXP World. We own that technology. Nobody else does that in the world for 7 years, almost been in the company 8 years. I've never actually waited more than 5 minutes to talk to a broker. And it's no joke. That's the truth. No more than 5 minutes. Get in immediately. Sisu, accountability for agents and team leaders. So if you need measurements and metrics to measure your business, that's what you have right there. Everybody gets a Canva Pro subscription at EXP. This is fantastic. We use Slack, which is used by many corporations for an intranet to get to communicate internally. Glenn's even looking at upskilling that to other things as well. Compliance, SkySlope, that's our portal, well known, very easy to use. We get a CRM of choice. For those of you that are not in EXP that are on this call, we actually give you a choice. You can choose from Lofty, Close, or Bold Trail. I happen to be a Bold Trail expert. I love Bold Trail. If you ever need any help, let me know. Okay, so this is the beauty of it. You have choices. My EXP, you have a back office that's second to none. It tells you everything about your business. You shouldn't have to recreate a report. It tells you how many people are in your organization, what your revenue share is, what your stock balances are, what your transaction count is. Uh, not only that, the company's actually overlaid an AI powered by ChatGPT over the entire ecosystem of EXP called Mira. Check it out if you haven't checked it out. They're still working things out, but it's going to be magnificent going into 2026. Any agent in our company can go into Mira, ask any questions, and it taps right into the ecosystem of EXP and gets you the answer when you're looking around. Enterprise gives you all the vendors we use. It gives you forward-facing consumer reports, things like that. That's just the tech column alone. The lead gen column, we got REO opportunities, REO certifications, Revenos, business to business, relocation program. Our relocation program's killing it. A lot of people don't realize how big that's gotten. They're doing a lot of business, pay-per-click campaigns, they're making it rain. If you're in the military, okay, I am. I was a Navy vet. The military rewards program is amazing. So plug into these referral networks because we love our veterans. We love our active duty people. Let's see, referral division. If you're at the point of your career where you want to kind of exit and you just want to give referrals to people that are in EXP, we even have a division for that. So, why leave when you can continue to derive income as a referral agent and you can actually still attract agents and get paid revenue share in that program as well? Our global referral platform, easy to put into. You could have a friend in Spain that's with EXP, and you could literally do a referral like that. You could have all the right brokers sign off on it, and you would have an easy to use referral program. Middle one, training, EXP University, 60 to 70 classes a week, fast attract. Now we have an actual attraction program that's much like FastCap, but it's for attraction in EXP University, and it's free. We don't nickel and dime people to death here at EXP. We give them a lot of free training. FastCap, if you've been in the Fast Cap, maybe give me a thumbs up in the chat. Say, yeah, I've been there. I'd love to hear who's been in Fast Cap. Did you know that right now we're running around 4 agreements in a period of 6 weeks, an average of 4 agreements in 6 weeks? And a lot of these agents are brand new agents. That's amazing, right? So I'm plugging everybody in my organization into Fast Cap. We have our mentor program. We don't want to be left alone. We have mentors all around the country. So if you're brand new, first 3 transactions, you're going to have a mentor to help you through that. We have Elevate Coaching, which is our coaching arm of EXP. It just keeps getting deeper and deeper. Team Leader Academy, run by Leo himself, John Cheplak. Amazing things if you want to improve your team leader skills. Events change lives. Get to the next regional. Get to the next EXP Con. When we do events, that's when the magic happens. That's where people make life decisions, is at events. CE classes. Many states provide CE classes. I love the broker staff here. I'm out of Arizona, and I can tell you they also do CE classes, and every single thing they teach is recorded. That's amazing. If I can't be at something, I know I'm going to be able to look at it later. That's the beauty of EXP. Okay. And then coming down the home stretch, broker teams, expert care desk. We have a 24/7 EXP care desk people can go into and get all the information they need, get directed to the right department. Team services. We have tons of TCs you can tap into. Uh, Compliance. That's the beauty of the model, right? I'm building an organization. I don't have to worry about the compliance piece of it as I grow out my organization. The brokers are going to assist in that. If you need IT assistance, you can go right into the world and you can get help with your computer. Not a lot of places do that, trust me. It just keeps getting deeper and deeper. Growth team, we have regional directors around the country that handle growth. So if you have any questions, we have a complete growth toolkit. If you haven't checked it out, check out our growth toolkit. It's magnificent. 8 years ago, Rich can attest to this, onboarding was a little clunky because we were growing so fast, it was hard to keep up. Now, onboarding is completely smooth. And honestly, I can trust that people are going to be onboarded very, very smoothly, and there's so many levels of support. We've just brought on a large team in South Carolina. You'll hear more about them in the future. And the support we had from the corporate office was unreal. I'm very, very pleased with it. And then finally, you can see on the right-hand side all the different programs we have. Luxury. We've added programs such as Land and Ranch. We have a fast-growing international and commercial group. Commercial is very hot right now. A lot of people coming into commercial. We offer a healthcare benefits program. You can get a free quote on it. If you need an office, we partner with Regis. Stock programs, which I'll hit on in a minute, they're amazing. We're giving people equity because they're producing, and that's the way it should be, right? Icon agents, basically, if you meet your cap and after that you close 20 transactions and pay $250 per transaction, that is an icon, and you get paid $16,000 in stock. That's gifted to you, that's exercisable in 3 years. Don't know a lot of companies that are doing that. Okay. So there you go. There's all the meat and potatoes, right? Now let's talk about the basics. It's an 80-20 split. What I love is everybody comes in on an 80-20 split, right? And I love that fairness in the model. You can be on a 16K cap, a full cap of 16K. That means that you're going to produce 20% of your commission is going to go to the company. It's going to chip away at that $16 cap. After you eradicate that, you're going to pay a $250 transaction fee for 20 transactions until you icon. We also have an errors and omissions fee of $60 per transaction, and that caps at $750 a year per anniversary year. Startup fees, very reasonable, $149 to start up, an $85 a month cloud brokerage fee, and that's plus sales tax. So in Arizona, that's like $91.23, something like that. You're going to pay that whether you close a deal or not. I like the predictability of that, and I understand that I have everything in EXP's ecosystem for $85 a month. Skyslope, brokers, my upline support, EXP University, it's all for $85 a month. I would challenge any company out there to even come close to the value proposition that we're offering for $85 a month.
Jeff, let me add a sharp point in here because in the Southeast where I live,
Yeah.
it's not uncommon to run across agents that have no cap, so they don't understand. So a cap is like your insurance deductible. Here at EXP, once you pay in with your 20% and hit the $16,000 cap, then you go straight to a 100% commission split for the rest of your anniversary year. Okay, and then only when you're at 100% commission split do they implement the $250 transaction fee 20 times in a row, and then that reduces to $75. I just wanted to get real clear on that. And then for our teams, we have reduced caps for certain team structures that Jeff will cover. Okay, so just in the Southeast, a lot of people don't even know what a cap is, which is an excellent math problem that gets solved in the explanation. Okay.
Yeah, thank you for also clarifying that. I met with an agent yesterday out of California. He was paying his broker $400,000 a year.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So these are some of the additional ways that we create other income streams. By the way, business should consist of multiple income streams. We get that. So Glenn, when he started the company, he didn't want it to be him on one side of the table and the Asian on the other side of the table. He wants us to be on the same side of the table, both getting equal benefit, right? So $200 of stock given to you when you close your first deal, 400 of stock given to you when you cap. Whenever you're gifted a stock grant, by the way, there's a 3-year vesting period. So $400 of stock when you cap every single year when you cap. 400 of stock when you actually attract an agent and they join and they close their first deal, you are gifted $400 of stock. That's awesome. Over the years, I've just watched my stock account just grow and grow and grow. Our equity commission program, this is voluntary. Right now, we have 65% of the people out there in the company participating, where you can take 5% of your gross commission income and you can take that money and you can buy our stock at a 5% discount. Finally, we have the Icon Award. So that is exactly what Rich said. You hit your cap, then for 20 transactions thereafter, you're spending $250 on each of those transactions. When you hit that in an anniversary year, you become an icon. And the company gifts you your cap back in $16,000, which vests in 3 years. That's better than plaques on the wall. Okay. I'm going to kick it over to Rich.
Yeah, okay. So, it's funny when I got my first Icon stock award in 2017, and what they did is they gave me my $16,000 of stock, which was 10,884 shares of stock at $1.87 a share. Then our company split. So my stock share doubled to 21,768 shares. If you times that by today's strike price, we're on the NASDAQ, EXPI, look it up. It's 1074 a share. So that's $220,000 of stock for that 1 year, right? So it's interesting. So as soon as I got that, because I'm from Miami, Florida, and I have the mental illness that comes from Miami, Florida, I was like, oh, well, this stinks because you got a 3-year vesting period, right? Well, I would have sold that stock at $3, 450, 650, 950. It went to $165 a share before we went public in that 3-year period. I'm so glad that they put handcuffs on me. Otherwise, I would have sold it for 16 grand, would have turned into 25 versus a quarter million. So this is how it works basically. At EXP, the company works off a 50-50. So for every dollar that comes in EXP, They rip that dollar bill right in half, and with their 50 cents, they pay all their expenses, which covers the 2,000 agents, the multiple brokers in every state, which, by the way, we pay our brokers six-figure salaries, not 30,000 a year like every other company. So we get high quality people that focus on the agent. And they operate off roughly about a 7.2% margin, which you can look at their quarterlies from last week, right? With the other 50 cents, they give it right back to us through stock and through revenue share. So a $16,000 cap that all 82,704 agents have, half of that goes toward the company. The other half goes out to the agents that want to earn lane two and lane three income, right? So let me kind of show you what that looks like. This gets a little, can you give me some shareability, Connor? Because I think that Jeff having the host might have usurped mine. So the way that this company works is that we have seven generations of income, or Jeff, I think you might have to click to the next spot.
There
This
you go.
company has seven generations of income to be had. We did not pay for any recruiters. We don't have any boundary lines. You have one national cap. If you and your partner live in the same address, or you're married and you're in the business together, you share one cap. You can sell in all 50 states as long as you have a license to sell in that state. You can sell and it goes toward one cap. So there is no sort of different market centers and franchises or companies that don't exist in one location and do in another. You're not getting any double dipping here. One of the ways that EXP has decided to grow is they had two options. Option one is they pay someone like Jeff 350,000 a year to buy us coffee and tell us how handsome we are and how good of a job we're doing in production. And they court us that way. We've all been courted that way. I think it's lovely. That's fine. The other way is that they said right out of the gate in 2009, when there was Glenn and 15 agents in the room, I think the agent knows who they want to work with best. Instead of putting them all in a random building that ends up interfering with a really good compensation plan, we're going to let them decide who they want to run with, and then we're going to compensate them accordingly. So you get paid a little microdosage of every person's commissions out of the EXP's portion of the commission, not out of the agents. So when they bring in the 16, they allot 8 grand for us to get paid on those agents to support them. It doesn't come out of the agent side. And the way that this works is for every direct agent that you bring over to the company, they call that a tier one agent. And in year one, you can earn up to $4,000 if you have a $16,000 capped agent that you bring over to the company anywhere in all 28 countries that we're in right now, right? Now, if they want to bring over their brother or sister or friend or colleague or their entire team or their entire brokerage, happens all the time, right? Then they can bring their agents over, and that's considered a tier two agent. And now they have their sponsor, who's your tier one agent, and they have you. They have two people and five people that came in before you did. So you always have seven free business partners involved in this business to support you. And then multiple state brokers, 2,000 employees, leadership training. You're surrounded by collaboration, mastermind, and people that are incentivized to help you grow your business. And this goes on in eight generations of income. So actually, I'm going to share my own screen because I actually have done this and I'm not here in theory as a college professor. So I brought over 62 tier one agents. Now remember, on year one, you earn up to $4,000 because we know that most of the work is front loaded. And then every perpetual year after that, it's up to 1,400 bucks on every tier one, and then up to 1,600 on every year tier two agent, which is annual. You get paid monthly, but it's the numbers I'm giving you are based on annual revenue share. And it goes all the way down. And if you add all of these seven generations, it'll add up to $8,000, which is half of the full cap, half of company dollar. So I brought over the course of, I guess, 99 months I've been here, right? So I got 99 months at this company. I brought over 62 agents. Those 62 agents brought over 279 of their friends, who brought over 508 of their friends. So I have 2,859 agents in my organization, 63 that joined the last 30 days. Well, how are they performing? Well, again, just like Jeff said, we know exactly how everything's performing because EXP creates a dashboard for us to have a pulse on what our business looks like, both locally in the team, nationally, and globally. So we have 110 agents that receive that stock back. So they're going to be very happy with us in 10 or 15 years, I suspect. 779 agents have joined my organization in the last year. I got 152 generals, team leaders. My average agent closes over 8 transactions. EXP has given me $913,000 of revenue share this year so far, and we've closed about $8.5 billion of sales. If you want to grow something very big, you don't grow a team. You have a team, and then you have an organization. You grow an organization, and your team lives inside that organization. So we can go back to your screen there, Jeff. You might have to pull that back up one more time. But
Okay.
the way that this company has gone from 500 agents in 2015, so from 2009 to 2015, we amassed 500 agents to 82,704 agents as of last week was like a Kevin Bacon movie, right?
Hmm.
Who's been in a movie with Kevin Bacon and who's been in a movie with that person? Everybody. And we have grown through people versus the traditional analog way that real estate brokerages grow, which is around people, right? And if we're growing through you, we want you to be incentivized financially. So if you look at this chart right here and you went to public school like I did, you have a bead of sweat that's starting on your forehead. Don't stress it. This is the actual analytics of how it works down percentage. What you basically have is 7 generations of income that you can make at this company. Three of those top three levels are unlocked at all times, right? Levels 4, 5, 6, and 7, you need to bring over X amount of agents on your front line as tier one agents, and they have to close at least a $5,000 commission every 6 months to qualify. Qualified agents takes the gaming out of the system and it unlocks levels 4, 5, 6, and 7. I have all 7 levels unlocked here, and we are able to generate income off all 7 generations of revenue share. Now, for a lot of you guys, we might lose you. Oh, hey, I'm not into recruiting. Listen, the last thing I wanted to do was talk to realtors about what's wrong with their business. Neither was I. When I started seeing my icon trophies come up and the ability to earn stock at this company and the fact that most of us, this made sense for on a calculator and the resource stack, it was pretty easy for me to explain why I moved to a company nobody ever heard of. I think I'm agent like 3,700 roughly at this company. We went from 45 million in Charlotte, North Carolina to $3 billion year to date. Now we're doing that in Greenville, South Carolina, and it's happening across every micro, metro, and small town across the United States. We opened up the UK in 2020 with Adam Day, agent 001. We have 911 agents in the UK. I did that all through a virtual real estate company, never got on an airplane. We're the largest estate agency in the UK. You can grow anywhere you have a relationship. It's called revenue share. Most people don't participate in it. I mean, just think about it. If the average EXP agent brought over one agent per year, we would be almost doubling with some attrition. We would be almost doubling every year, right? So most agents sell in lane one. They earn stock in lane two, whether they like it or not. We're just going to keep adding the Morgan Stanley account stock. And lane three are for people that are team builders, independent brokerage owners, influencers, people that like scaling, building empires. And that's what this chart is affords you. For $149, I was able to grow. Now they changed rev share this year and made it a lot more exciting. So you can ask my 9 and 6-year-old boys that what's better, one parent or two? Mommy's good in certain categories, daddy's good in other categories, right? It's not a political statement. It's just feedback from my 6 and 9-year-old, right? So we have this thing called co-sponsorship because two sponsors sometimes serves the agent better than one sponsor. One could be local, one could be remote, one could be into a system or a vertical or a niche of the business that you need. One could be the person that explained it to you. You can mix and match and get two sponsors at this company at any given time here. So Jeff and I co-sponsored the number one team here in Greenville from a company I won't repeat, and we co-sponsored. Jeff is the one that built the relationship. I heard that Jeff was in the mix on day one. I was local here. I had a niche part of the business, and so did Jeff that would serve this agent well. And we are co-sponsors on this agent. Jeff is the sponsor, I'm the co-sponsor. The way that works is that the primary sponsor gets all of the future growth through the revenue share. They get the qualifier and they get the stock grant that you get that was on lane two, which was $400 when that agent closes their first transaction. The sponsor gets the stock, the agent gets $200 of stock, right? The co-sponsor in this case also gets 7 generations of rev share. So they're building together something that they form. It's like having a child together from an illustration standpoint. And they also get the revenue off that agent that comes over. So this gets a little squirrely. We can break this thing down on separate phone calls and show you how this works. But like just to keep it super, super simple, like third grade material, if you brought over 10 agents to this company that were capping agents that you wanted to work with, build a culture around, mastermind, all the things, on year one, that would be $40,000 of revenue share plus bonus. Okay, 4,000 per agent. So there is a way for us here to grow. Now, what revenue share organizations does that's far more interesting than what I just explained, which is some basic level of compensation on it, is it solves the age-old problem with real estate teams. With real estate teams, the high producers outgrow the team and then compete against the team with ill will. And the team leader that made them as good as they are gets no long-term benefit. They get competition. The margin that the team leader is making off the team is at the expense of their opportunity for the team member. And then you have another hand in the pocket, which is the brokerage. Okay. What teams work in the most ideal way, and we have almost 5,000 teams at this company, is that you are on the team and that you can graduate from the team, create your own team, but stay in the organization and still have your team leader in your ecosphere and have that mentorship and knowledge and wisdom shared in a collaborative way. You don't have to leave. It's like Jeff and I decided to I don't know. Let's say Jeff was a much more attractive female because that would have to ring the bell for me. And we had a kid. After 18 years, the kid goes out into the world and he's never allowed back. We want to build independent kids, but we want to still keep them in the family. The organization is the family, and that's what it allows it to happen. So when you see my charts on my organization, I can see who's performing, who's not performing, where they need help, who's plugged in, who's not plugged in, where our emerging markets are. We have total visibility and we don't have to iterate any of the technology. We didn't have to create it. We don't even distribute the income. We just turn the head to where it goes. So that's sort of lane three, as condensed as I can get it. So back to you.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Rich. A couple things I wanted to share on that is number one, if I had to pay Rich to be my consultant to help me with my business, I could not afford him because he's that successful. But now the company has now made him my business partner. I mean, he was my business partner before because he was another EXP colleague, but now we are true business partners, right? And honestly, becoming great friends. And I love that about this company, right? I just don't want to succeed monetarily, but I want to succeed in relationships. And now it's exciting because I have people like him around the country as my immediate business partner. Think about that from a co-sponsoring standpoint, guys. Start thinking about all the agents you know around the country that are at the top of their game. Connect with them. And if you know somebody in Phoenix, let's say, let's talk. That's how easy it is. Last thing I'll say about revenue share, guys, is even if you have like nobody in your organization, you can always start today, right? By just one person, right? And you build it before you have to build it. You build it before you have to build it because what's going to happen in your life, it's guaranteed. You're going to have ups and downs. Okay. My down was during COVID. I'm sure many of you have had stories about how that affected your family. Being a part-time pastor between 2020 and 21, I literally buried 12 of my friends because I've been going to the same church for almost 40 years. So I knew a lot of these people, and a lot of these people succumbed to COVID, including my father. So I had to bury my father, Vietnam veteran, three Purple Hearts, had Agent Orange cancer in his throat, got COVID, died 3 days later. I couldn't see him in the hospital. It was brutal. The reason I bring this up is because I was making revenue share during that time, and it allowed me to mourn. And I was a wreck for about 6 months to a year. I didn't really even want to have any passion about real estate or any of this at all. But I had checks coming in because I was working. I was working on building something for the future. So I want you to take that to heart today that, and I, God forbid anything like that happens to you, but you go through good and bad times. And I want you to be prepared. So if you can't produce real estate for your family, you have another income stream. That's why I love revenue share. It was a gift given by our company. A couple last slides. We talked about the CRM of choice. Go in and do your due diligence on these three systems because they're all very good and they have differences. And I happen to be a Bold Trail guy, but I know a lot of people that use Lofty, right? So do your due diligence, and that gives people even more choice. The key to this slide is we believe in everybody. We believe in their whoever they are, whatever their background is, we believe in them. We also believe in our community, and we do that through iHeart, and we partner with our communities across the United States. We give a lot of money back to charity, and we also give back to our agents that are just hurting and they're going through hard times. And I've seen that happen time and time again where we're making a difference in the community and in our agents' lives. And I'm very, very proud to be a part of this company. So, and you can see it's so easy to get a hold of EXP. We all have access to the care desk 24/7, and they treat this as us being the number one client. I love that about our company. And if we're the number one client, that should trickle down to our clients. Our company's run on an NPS score, a net promoter score. Did you know that? Whenever you go into the broker office, you're probably going to get a survey. Whenever you have any kind of issue, you're getting surveyed. Why? Because they're going over that at the senior level. They're always making pivots because we are the number one client for them. So I hope this kind of gave you a really good roundabout way of looking at the model. Rich, should we open it up for questions or
Yeah,
any?
100%. Let's if there's any slides that we can go into, we could probably even go into the live system and show you what that looks like. So we could stop the share. Anybody have any questions off the bat? Any brave souls? Most everybody.